thank you for that beautiful introduction. And I believe what we say at Purdue is boiler up, hammer down. Good afternoon, Lily. Good afternoon. It is both an honor and a privilege to be here today. Are you all excited? Because we are going on an expedition today. We're going to go through some peaks. We're going to go through some valleys. So strap up, strap in, and tune in. My topic for today is gifted. Rosa Parks, Amelia Earhart, Neil Armstrong, Frederick Douglass. All courageous leaders who took a journey and have legacies known solely from their gifts that made a difference in the world we live in today. Today's theme is expedition, and an expedition is a journey undertaken by a group of people with a particular purpose. Most companies know what purpose they serve. That's why we're built upon mission statements to remember the focus of the business and values to live by. But we are in a time where we must continue to innovate and build upon what is already established by trying new ideas, new methods. And the biggest drivers of innovation are the people. We must leverage the talent of our people, and the best way to do that is through their gifts. We have new hires coming in, navigating, looking for where they belong. And for those of you who have been at this company and are a bit more mature in experience, your purpose is constantly evolving. We have leaders who feel like they have reached a peak in their career, and many of us who do not know what the next step is or how to get there. So when I think about the definition of expedition, we are the group of people on the journey to identify our gifts and how they can be optimized at this company. Every single last one of us plays a significant role in order for this business to properly function so that we can fulfill our mission of making life better for people around the world. Considering this, when you are operating outside of your gift or in the wrong place, in the wrong environment, it creates dysfunction and dissatisfaction for both you and the company. So we must take a personal approach in identifying our purpose in order to keep the momentum of this company going. For those of you who have left another company before, why did you leave? Were you never appreciated or recognized for your accomplishments? Did you never receive the opportunity to perform at your full potential because you were in the wrong place? 89% of bosses believe that employees quit because they want more money, when in reality, only 12% of that is true. 79% of employees quit due to the lack of appreciation. And the number one reason that inspires people to do better work is recognition. Like any other journey, there are roadblocks that get in the way of what you're striving for. There are setbacks that prolong you from reaching the destination at the time that you intended. And there are conditions that will weaken you depending on how you react to them. Or they make you wiser, stronger, allowing you to move more strategically and become more discerning throughout the rest of your journey, making you a stronger traveler and a step closer to your destination. So today, I want to take you on a journey with me on how I identified my purpose in hopes of offering you a different perspective on how you seek out yours. Can we do that? So my journey started in South Bend, Indiana, where I was raised with my 6 siblings. Yes, I said 6 siblings. I'm number 4 of the 7. My father, who's a Mississippi boy, born and raised by his grandparents and serves as a pastor. And my mom, who did lose her father at an early age, but she was raised by her mother, my granny, in South Bend and serves as a first lady. Now, my parents have very different backgrounds, but they aligned on how they raised all 7 of us. When I look at my parents, I see a power couple. I see teammates. I see determination to raise their children so that we can be protected from some hurt that they've endured, and to prepare us so that when the world does come to knock us down, then not only do we know who we are, but so we can stand strong and lean on each other. Now, growing up, I've always been very social, very outgoing. I was on the go all the time. I did track, cheerleading, academic organizations in the city, so I was always on the move, on the go. My dad called me Mustang Sally. And sometimes when I come home, he'll play the theme music when I get in the door. But every time I stepped out the house, my dad would stop me and say, "Loretta, what's your last name?" And I had to tell him Davidson. That was my key to get out. But I realized my dad did this so that whenever I left, or in other words, came from up under my parents' covering where they can see me, that I remember where I come from. And I remember who I'm representing. One observation I made when I was a young girl was whenever my mom was sad, she was opening up mail. And it turned out to be bills. But these bills, these pieces of paper, it changed the dynamic in the house. It created some tension. And it's not many things that make my parents like stressed and worried and concerned, and my dad tired from working long hours. So what I connected was, I don't want to have to deal with this. I didn't want that issue. But what I saw was bills. But what I couldn't see, that my parents were dealing with some other things that they had to make adjustments to, and what they tried to prevent from happening to us. For example, how they named us. There's Larry, LeBess, Lynette, Loretta, there's a lot of L's, Landon, Lauren, and Lorraine. My parents named us so that when you heard our name or seen our name on the piece of paper, that you wouldn't know that we were Black. And they did that so that we would have a fair shot. A fair shot when we were applying for schools, for scholarships, for jobs, because they knew what was to come. My parents pushed us to do well in school. They stressed how important it was to get an education. A good education equaled a good job. So I took my education and my career very seriously. I graduated number 4 in my high school, in the top 1% in my city. I became the president of the only minority business organization at Purdue University. And I started an organization that was grounded in Proverbs 31 that talks about a virtuous woman, so I could empower other women on the upbringing that I got. I was chosen as one of the top 12 leaders at Purdue University. I secured 3 internships in my college career, and I had offers to choose from going into my senior year. And I always carried myself in a respectable manner. My parents always talked to us about our spiritual gifts. They told us that it was important that we knew what our spiritual gifts were. They told us that it was important because, one, we must operate within our gifts. Two, our gift strengthens others. And three, our gifts makes a way and brings you before great people. Now, I want you all to pinpoint this. I'm going to repeat myself. One, you must operate within your gift. Two, your gift strengthens others. And three, your gift makes a way and brings you before great people. So my spiritual gift is an exhortation. And if anybody who grew up with me knows me, they know I bring a lot of positive energy. It means to encourage and help people maximize their own potential. And I genuinely value and find fulfillment in what I can do for other people. That is always how I've seen success for me. If my accomplishments aren't able to pull somebody up and bring somebody else with me, I'm not doing enough. So I carried this in every decision I made, from what college I went to, what I got involved with in college, the legacy that I left, and when I chose my offer, which so happened to be Lily. Lily holds a great mission in helping people and instilling hope in families and patients in times where it seems obsolete. I love what this company stands for, and I can see myself playing a part in the mission of this company. So I continue my career and my journey here at Lilly through the Lilly Marketing Academy, which is a 6-month rotational program. And then after you graduate from the program, you go to your next role. This program develops you and exposes you to the different dimensions of marketing here to help you answer questions like, where do you see yourself? What do you like doing? What do you not like doing? What type of team dynamic is motivating for you? What type of leadership do you thrive under? And it can help you find your gift. For me, I'm the type of person that optimizes every situation. As long as I was learning something, I was excited and motivated. So it was hard. I didn't know what was most motivating for me. I didn't know what the best role was for me until I found it. I had another level of excitement, another level of motivation because of the work I was doing. I was working closer to the patient, hearing firsthand what they were going through, and then having the ability to influence where we play a part in their journey. How can we remove this barrier and make their journey just a bit more comfortable for them? This is what I found drove me. Now thank you. There are some additional things going on. I hit a learning curve. Everything seemed like trial and error. Every day there was a new issue, and I was leaving work feeling defeated. I felt like I hadn't done enough, or I hadn't learned enough, or I missed a step. I couldn't put my finger on it, but something just wasn't right. Graduation was around the corner, and even that felt rushed to me. And we were at a time that whatever your first choice of your role would have been, it was a challenge for us to get our first choice. But long story short, I was one of 15 people that didn't graduate. I was the one that did not graduate from my class. When I got the news, my heart sank to my stomach. I had no words to say. Nothing made sense. I thought I was headed in the right direction, and my career took a turn. This was my unexpected situation, and it was quite difficult. to navigate around. I had so many questions. What did I do wrong? How am I going to talk to people about this when I'm networking, looking and searching for my next role? What are people going to think? Are they going to think I can't perform? I let my people down because I was one of 2 African American women in my LMA class. And when we're viewed, we represent the masses. All my life, I had to prove myself. I always had to prove I am smart. I am a hard worker. Yes, me and my siblings do all have the same parents. And my father is very much so involved in my life. Thank you very much. But when will it stop? When will I stop having to prove myself to people? I wasn't here long, and you have to build credibility when you're new. And I had been shot down before I had even any clout to build upon. Great minds leave companies. Minds that stood out, that stand out, leave companies because they are not accommodated for the special gift that they have to offer. Was I next? Why did this happen to me? Now, this situation, it did put hurt under the joy that I did have. It also made it harder to trust. But what it didn't do, it wasn't a shot at the marketer that I know I am and what I know I bring to the table. But it did make me question, can I be successful here? Now, I didn't completely understand my situation, but after a while, I started to reap the benefits of my 3rd rotation. I had a better understanding of the business, of myself, and a more strategic way of navigating. And I took my new learnings from my reflection, and I had a fresh start on a new team, new leadership, different responsibilities. And I had 3 moments of confirmation throughout this rotation. The first one was a different type of leadership. I had a supervisor who was fully invested in my future, and he made it known. And he had a plan forward for me that wasn't a constant reminder of what seemed like a downfall for me. He did just the opposite. He spotted greater potential in me and started placing me in positions of opportunity where I was operating within my gift after he identified it for himself. My second moment of confirmation answered the question, do I belong here? I went to go help recruit. Lily had a new partnership with a program that I was part of in undergrad, so I went to go help. It was very ironic. I went to go recruit when I was a little hurt by the company, but so Lily, we had a Lily table. It was me and another recruiter, and we had shifts of students coming in like every 30 minutes. And one of the students asked me a question, and he said, Loretta, you mentioned that you had offers to choose from. How did you know Lily was the right one? That wasn't to be funny. And little did he know how therapeutic that question was for me. because I have a vivid memory of when I accepted my offer at Lilly. It was a late night, and I was waiting for my parents to get home. And my parents were out helping one of their church members, and they were dealing with a family issue with the cops, so I knew it was going to be a long night before they got home. But they got home, and we sat down at the kitchen table, and I sat down, I had to reflect. And I started to think back to my internship experience, and it was the most challenging summer I had, but it was the most lit summer I had too. I had a hard project, but a valuable project that still lives on in the OBU today. I had resources. I had support on all levels as an intern. I remember what Lilly gave me, and I remember the fulfillment I got in the work I was doing. So I opened up that laptop and I signed that letter. And I looked up at my parents, and my mom looked at me, and she said, "We did it." And at that moment, it made me realize all the hard work, all the investment, all the time, all those years for this moment. And I felt good. I felt so good and had no doubt about the decision I made. I said, I gotta make some new goals. So my third confirming moment was a conversation I had with my mentor. She sat me down and she said, "Loretta, tell me what you enjoyed about all three of these experiences." And I left that conversation, and we were able to identify my three motivators because there was a common denominator in all of my experiences. And they were building relationships, fulfilling needs, and motivating and inspiring. So I took these three things as I searched for my next roles. Graduation day came. I had my own graduation day. And I found out I had more support than I even knew about. I had support from people that I didn't even know knew me. And today, I am in a role that not only am I building relationships, but I'm owning relationships. I'm fulfilling needs. And I'm in a position to motivate and inspire to drive business. I have a supervisor that is fully invested in my career and my future. I have teammates that actually see me and value me. And I reflected again. I did a lot of reflecting, y'all. And as I reflected, I realized that as I was working and developing new skills during this rotation, this role didn't exist. There was something in the making for me so that when I was done, it was ready for me and I was ready for it. My situation showed me that the biggest opportunities present themselves as interruptions. Now I want to go back to where I told you I put a pin in it. Oh, shoot. This ain't the right slide. Sorry. We're going to go back. Okay. When you operate within your gift strengthens others. It makes a way, and it brings you before great people. And I stand before you today, fulfilling my purpose of encouraging others to operate within theirs. Oh, don't want to move. Oh, okay. We're going to go through the slides again. Some pretty slides. I challenge you today to do a self-evaluation. Are you operating in your gifts? And if so, are you helping someone else identify theirs? We all have unexpected situations. There is people who were offered the vert, some who took it and didn't know what the next thing was, and some who didn't. And they have a different life at Lily now. Some people are thinking they try to get rid of me. There are some people who have been reallocated. There are some people who are upset because they're watching everyone else around them get promoted and wondering, why you haven't seen me yet? There are some people who have lost mentors and sponsors because they have moved on to the next level in their life. So they have lost their guidance because it isn't easy to navigate around here. We all have unexpected situations. But I dare you, take that journey to identify your gift and see how it turns your life around. Now, we all may not be a Rosa Parks, but we all have a unique purpose to fulfill. And at the end of the day, we're all gifted. Thank you.